This presentation is based on the comic strip series Calvin and Hobbes written by Bill Watterson. My name is Larsa Warda and I will be giving this presentation. Calvin and Hobbes was an active daily newspaper comic strip from 1985 to 1995. In 2005, the strips were published as a complete book and have been enjoyed by an audience of all ages. Although each strip was originally created separately, the storyline from the beginning of the book to the very last page tends to remain the same. Readers are introduced to Calvin, a curious 6-year-old boy, and Hobbes, his cynical stuffed tiger. All characters see Hobbes as inanimate except for Calvin, who views his friend as very much alive. In the collection of Calvin and Hobbes, deep subjects such as politics, life, public education, relationships, and death are often discussed between the two protagonists. Realizing he was trying to pertain to a majority of young adults, Bill Watterson made sure to keep Calvin naive, although he oftentimes discussed subjects far beyond his years. The book resulted in a complete collection of a 6-year-old's thoughts and feelings in a world hardly familiar to adults themselves. The illustration style is playfully designed sketches with childlike elements. Although the majority of the comics were created sans color, when color was introduced, it would bleed outside of lines and fall off the page as shown in this image. Since it is a comic strip, the art is created to flow from one square to the next, forcing readers to glide their eyes through the imagery. The way that the art is drawn in this collection appeals to children while still being widely appreciated by adult readers. The placement of the words remained faithful to the style of comics in which word bubbles are used during dialogue and open text is used in personal thought. Since Calvin is a 6-year-old, relating to other children, Bill Watterson uses creative images to show adventures that Calvin and Hobbes create together. For example, when Calvin imagines he and his best friend Hobbes are crashing a plane into a house, Watterson illustrates with a full-size plane crash, only to show at the end of the strip that the two are only playing pretend. Bill Watterson shows two versions of reality in his narration. We, the readers, are seeing the world through Calvin's eyes, both realistically and imaginary. Overall, the narrative style can be described as articulate, witty, humorous, and even authentic, since Bill Watterson would only narrate for subjects that he completely understood. He narrates realistically to the attitude and wit of a 6-year-old boy and uses an informal tone that is fitting to Calvin's age. The audience of this collection is in fact a dual audience. The text is easy for children to understand and follow, while the text subjects are oftentimes intended for an adult to really think about. Calvin and Hobbes was initially created to bring awareness to subjects such as politics and public education to people of all ages. As the comic progressed and developed, Watterson realized how inspirational and academically accurate his work with Calvin and Hobbes truly was. His comic strips have been used in textbooks for sciences, social sciences, mathematics, philosophy, and even foreign language. Using various strips from the collection, a Calvin and Hobbes textbook has been published to assist with children with learning disabilities. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in my discussion post. Thank you.